Stuck on You.
Yeah, can y'all hear the intro music tonight?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can hear it on my computer tonight. Well, normally I can't hear it, but tonight I can hear it on my computer. I don't know what goes on with this software.
I can't.
Intro music. But
I
we're
can't
live.
on my phone. I can't hear it.
We're live Thursday night, September 25th. Your Geaux Team. We got the OG Geaux Team going on here. We got Zombie Bob. How are we doing tonight?
We're doing good, but I can hear the music very loudly because you do not so well.
So I need to cut it off. What about now? Can you hear me?
Balancing out. I can hear you.
Well, let's try cutting the audio. Something's up with the
There we
audio.
go. What is that? That's from, what's the theme song from that? The Chris Jackson story?
Not Chris Jackson. The late great
Pistol.
Pistol Pete Maravich. The Pistol, the birth of a legend.
Okay.
So we've got the OG Geaux Team here again tonight. We got Zombie Bob and we got Chip. Chip's on the road. We don't have a camera image of him because maybe the Mossad's out to get him.
Yes.
And so that's why he's trying to hide
Are
his
you
location.
allowed to joke about those things today? And the political climate that we find ourselves in?
Well,
They're afraid I'm going to be. They're afraid of me president one day.
Last night I didn't have to show the legal disclaimer at all. Tonight, with 30 seconds in, and there's the legal disclaimer.
Yeah, you might as well
either-
show it,
legal.
dude, just in case.
Yeah.
he's either being hunted by the Mossad or he's hunting Bigfoot. But either way, Chip's location is to be determined tonight. So he's on the road somewhere in enemy territory, somewhere in Georgia, right? Right, Chip?
Yeah, Noonan, Georgia.
Noonan, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta.
Yep.
You know, we had
Covington.
No, I think
Georgia?
the other side.
I'm going to
think-
get hit now. I'm going to get hit by a, what do they call those things in Russia? Freaking,
A drone?
I'm going to get hit by one of them, like, drones in a few seconds.
They're Mossad's out to get him, man.
They're really.
It's called a drone ski in Russia. Once
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
here's the
drone
legal
ski.
disclaimer from corporate.
Noonan, Georgia, other side of Atlanta than Covington, Georgia, because Noonan is like, if you're driving in from Auburn, Noonan's like one of the first towns you hit on the outskirts of Atlanta, where you have to go southwest to hit Covington, Georgia, I believe, if my geography serves me right.
Where did the old man live in Georgia? Didn't he live in Georgia for a sec?
Covington, Georgia. That's what this segment's about, Chip. We can tell you're driving or on the road and worried about the Mossad getting you, because that's what this segment was about.
I mean, listen, those guys, if those guys get you, they get you, right?
If you're gonna get caught, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna.
No, travel safely, Chip. Travel
safely. We have you here. Don't
Are you
focus on the road.
Podcasting?
Well, I've done that a couple times already, so I can't. Bourbon and beer.
Well, bourbon and beer, but I mean, you know.
For all our listeners out there, after the games, check us out on X, check us out on YouTube. We go live for our post-game show called Bourbon and Beer. Make sure you like and subscribe to us or follow us on X, also known as Twitter, and subscribe to our page on YouTube, and you'll get all the alerts of when we go live so that you can listen in. Zombie, before we get started, I do have a question. I know today was a big day for you, right? There was something was released today, and in your world might have been the best quality items that you've received from a certain Mardi Gras crew.
Well, shout out to my main man, Pizza, because he's the one that said, "Hey, you got that email?" I said, "Yeah, I got an email." And he's like, "Well, you know."
Can we clarify on who Pizza is? I'm not saying you use a name, but you can't just throw out a reference, Pizza, and not give us a background.
All right, you know the Little Caesars. Pizza is a friend / former employee of mine that his CB handle, let's say, was Pizza, or just Pizza by short.
Because he always ordered pizza from Little Caesars?
No, because he looks exactly like the Little Caesars guy. He's fat,
like
he's
Nero.
Bald, he's got no neck.
He's got
Yeah, that's
no
what he
neck,
was. Didn't he
so
look
his
like?
pizza-
Wasn't he Nero? Was that who he was?
No. He looks
Or it
like the
was
Little
Little
Caesars guy.
Nero's Pizza. That was
Little
from Home
Nero's.
Alone.
Yes,
That was
he's
from Home Alone
Caesar,
movie.
not Little Nero's. Yeah. That's what it
Yeah.
was. It was supposed to be a spoof off of.
So
Yeah.
like pizza and Hold the Mayo come from their roots was in the same parish,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And believe it or not, although Pizza looks like the Little Caesar guy, the son of a bitch knows freaking everybody, and he's the one that got me into the crew of Bacchus in New Orleans on Bacchus Sunday, the Sunday before Fat Tuesday, the day before Lunday Gras. And he hit me up today and he said, "Hey, did you check your email? Did you get an email from the crew?" And I saw it. I said, "I didn't really look at it." He's like, "The Bacchus store is open so that you can go in and start purchasing your throws for 2026." Which is unusual because it's usually about this time of year. But then they said that because of the tariffs and there was some uncertainty with that, they actually thought it wouldn't be until October, November, maybe even early December. So I wasn't really looking out for it. I don't know if I'm allowed to give away the theme. All right. Well, 2026 is the American bicentennial. No, not bicentennial. What's 250? What's the right word for that? Bicentennial and a half. Yeah. What?
Bicentennial something.
Yeah. It's 250.
Bison UFC fight on the front lawn of the White House.
Exactly. So, let's just say Bacchus is taking Old Glory and wrapping themselves in it. And I was blown away by the throws, the quality of the throws, the vastness of the throws, just totally embracing the theme. And I was like a little kid in a candy store. Making all my selections this afternoon. So luckily my significant other / accountant wasn't home when I was doing my shopping, and
hopefully
come and
she's
find
not
me.
listening to this broadcast.
No, she came in early, got her computer. She's doing some work in the other room. She got to support my Mardi Gras throws.
Yeah, get to work so
addiction.
that I can buy some more Mardi Gras.
Exactly. We need those billable hours. So So no. Before we started the program, I was talking with Brother Chip and Brother Daniel about how excited I was about that. But if you're interested in any of that, go check out MardiGrasRockstar.com, or you can find us on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. So appreciate the plug there.
Heck yeah.
Also, before we dive into LSU Ole Miss, which is a giant game we're excited about this weekend, another big sporting event this weekend, and I want to get Zombie Bob's thoughts on this because it's close to a former, even though it's a sport you might not follow as much, where it's being played this weekend is close to your old stomping grounds.
Oh, Long Island?
Yeah, the Ryder Cup is being played starting tomorrow morning at Bethpage Black in Farmingdale, New York.
Yeah, very familiar with it.
So
I've never played the course myself.
They're rowdy. The people there are rowdy.
Yeah, Coach Joe was up there getting them riled up, right?
Yeah, he
Roback.
Yeah. How the Yankees doing these days, Daniel?
No idea. Ever since I got kicked out of my fantasy baseball league, I no longer care about Major League Baseball. Well, I care enough that I know that Paul Skeens is going to win the Cy Young, and he has a 10-10 record on the season, if that's right. So he's going to win.
He does have it. It is 10-10.
Yeah,
it's 10-10 because he'll be the first starting pitcher. I forget in how long, like a ridiculously long time, that will not have a winning record and will likely win the Cy Young. So he has like a 1.9 ERA, 10-10 record, but the Pirates suck. So
he's essentially the Archie Manning of the Pittsburgh Pirate organization.
Except he actually puts up good stats, where Archie Manning didn't put up good stats.
Archie Manning was NFC Offensive Player of the Year in 1979.
There was one year. Okay, so I've done this deep dive because I've tried to play this argument. I've tried to troll Zombie Bob and others on this argument before. There was one season in his NFL career where Archie Manning put up good stats. Every other season, he was below average stat-wise. Now, you can blame it on the supporting cast. I mean, if you're surrounded by shit, it's hard to put up good numbers.
Spencer Rattler.
I know I ask this every time, but I'll trust Zombie because he was there and could feel it, and I think like that is a bigger deal than because obviously you remember Hodson would throw for 2,000 yards, and we thought he was. I mean, he'd throw for 200 yards a game, and you thought he was like.
Yeah, football was different back then.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he thought he was Danny Werfel.
You know, and really the stat I pick on Archie Manning about is his touchdown to interception ratio.
Mm-hmm.
It was negative for pretty much every year of his career.
Right.
I don't have the numbers right in front of me.
Running for his life, huh?
Go on.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, one other thing, since we brought that up, last night we had special guest Jace Lejeune on, and shout out Jace for coming on the program, being completely generous with his time. We could have gone as long as we wanted to. He didn't give us any restrictions. You know, thank you so much for your time. There was one question I asked him to troll Zombie Bob about was Arch Manning's how he played against Episcopal. I didn't realize that Jace also did. He broadcast that game where
he did the play-by-play.
Yeah, where Newman played Lafayette Christian. But I went back and looked at that box score from that game. Lafayette Christian beat Newman 49-7. And do you want to know how many completions and how many yards Arch Manning threw for in that game? He had 16 pass attempts. That's it.
Ooh. I was going to even say 7 completions, and so that's too high.
That's the correct. No, that's the correct number.
Really? Okay.
7 completions on 16 attempts. And do you want to guess
42 yards?
53 yards.
Okay. Okay.
So just I didn't look up the rushing stats, but I was able to find it in a USA Today article written in 2021, and Juwan Johnson was the starting quarterback.
Say, what did Juwan Johnson have?
Oh, he lit it up. I didn't remember his stats because I was skimming the article to find Arch's stats in that game. So,
Archie Manning, the grandfather, his NFL career record: 35 wins, 101 losses, 3
Jesus. 35 wins, 101 losses. Jeez, that's worse because there was only one year where he went 8-8, right? And that's when he won the MVP.
I was said 79. I think I might have said 78, but he was 7-9 and 78, 8-8 and 79. 125 touchdowns, 173 interceptions on the career.
Yeah,
and
that's always the stat I love to bring up.
67.1 quarterback rating.
Ooh, that's not good.
No,
but it's a different time of day. You can't really
He didn't play in 76. I think that's when they had the Bobbies, right? Bobby Douglas and Bobby Scott.
All I remember is the Billy Joes.
I'm pretty sure in 76 was the Bobby Douglas and Bobby Scott.
How many Billy Joes were there? There was 3, right?
Billy Joe Tolliver.
And Billy Joe Hobart.
Billy Joe Hobart. And there was another one, right?
I thought there was 2. And then I thought Jake Delhomme was the 3rd quarterback.
He definitely was at one point.
Well, he was quarterback, but he would have been.
Oh, he was later. Jake Delhomme was at the end of Ditka, where the Billy Joes were at the end of Mora.
No, they were there. They were definitely there together. They were definitely sorry for the windshield wipers.
Actually, I would have thought it was before the late 90s, so you're probably
no, because Billy Joe was there definitely. And I remember going to a game in '97 versus the Rams. It was definitely Billy Joe Hobart, or maybe even Tolliver. But
Tolliver
then
played 99 and 1998, 1999.
So it was, then I was right.
Hobart was on both of those, yeah.
And then I want to say the Cajun, what's his name, Jake Delhomme, he came in against Dallas in '99 and lit them up, and Dallas was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then they got beat by Buffalo. I think we went 3-3 enough.
And then 13. We let him go, and then he went on to play in a Super Bowl.
Yeah. He was I think he had a great Super Bowl too. It was fantastic.
But segue here to the LSU Ole Miss game this weekend. On last night's show, Chip, Zombie Bob was asking me how much I remember of the Curly Holman days. And so I was thinking back of some of my early memories.
I
And
thought
one
about it
that,
when he was asking that.
yeah, there's one that
I
ties
know it.
into the LSU Ole Miss game that I've told Chip this story before.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Zombie Bob, if I've ever told you this story. But like I was saying last night, my first vivid memory of an LSU game is that 93 Florida beatdown 58-3.
Yeah.
I know I went to some games before that in 92, but I vaguely remember them. I think I went to the Mississippi State game in 92 because I remember there being a bulldog, but I might not have gone to that game. But in 1994, and Chip, correct me if I'm wrong, we played Ole Miss at home in 1994, correct? Or was it
Ole
90?
Miss at home in 93.
Okay, so it was 1993. Yes, that's right, 1993. So later in that same season, the week after we beat Alabama, when the pigs flew game, when that was the only chance. What was the article in the paper said? LSU will only win if pigs fly, and then LSU beat Alabama, and the headline in the Baton Rouge Advocate the next day was "Pigs fly, LSU beats Alabama." So the following week, 1993, we're playing Ole Miss. I remember it was super cold. The old man took me to the game. I'm pretty sure Megan came too, our sister, and probably somebody else, because at that time he had 4 tickets. But I remember at the end of the game, we're closing out the game, and we stopped or they miss a field goal, and then we get the ball back with 30 seconds left, and we kneel on the ball to run out the clock. And I remember being 8 years old, and I'd watched football, but I had never seen LSU take a knee at the end of the game. And I was just blown away that, whoa, we're actually good. We take a knee on the opposing team, because that's how bad LSU football was in 1993.
Well,
that I had never remembered us taking a knee before.
not me to correct you, because I can't name anyone's name from this year's team off the top of my head really quickly, but I'll know them in 10 years. Just FYI, we beat Kentucky, then Ole Miss, then Alabama, then Tennessee, then Tulane.
Not so
And then
fast,
lost.
my friend. I have it right here.
It was after Alabama.
The loss to Florida, 58-3, was the largest loss in program history. Point differential, 55 points. They lost at Kentucky, 17-35.
Oh, we lost at Kentucky.
They lost at Kentucky, beat Ole Miss at home, took a knee, winning 19-17.
Yeah, because they missed the field goal. Yeah.
Went to number 5, Alabama, on a Jefferson Pilot 11 a.m. kickoff.
So the Alabama was the week after, not the week before.
Yeah,
okay.
A week after, 17-13. Beat had a bye week before Tulane. Beat Tulane 24-10 at home. Arkansas came to town, and with a chance,
45-24 or something like that.
They had a chance to be bowl eligible to beat Arkansas. Arkansas ran for 400 yards, won 42-24.
It was 14-14 at halftime. In the second half, they blew us out. I remember that.
Well,
I was at that game.
Say it was like 28 at some point, or like it was close, like even in the fourth quarter, and then they just fucking went off, right?
Yeah. I remember at halftime thinking, oh my God, we might make a bowl game, because that was such a big deal, because we were 5-5, and Curly Holman was going to make a bowl game, and it didn't happen. So that's my earliest memory of LSU Ole Miss.
David LaFleur, Kevin Malai, Brett Beck, your wide receiver, Gabe Northern. I mean, there's some talent on that team.
Jermaine Sharp at running back with Robert Toomer.
Yeah. Shedrick Wilson at another wide receiver.
Cedric Wilson. That's right. Shedrick. Yeah, not Shedrick, not Cedric. That's right.
We also, I want to say we had another white wide receiver. What was his name? Number 17. Kind of a beast. I want to say
Scott Ray. Senior Scott Ray.
Yeah, right. He was a fucking beast.
Yeah.
I think I've seen Vintage Tiger on Twitter post pictures of Scott Ray.
Yeah,
but I don't remember him.
He was a dog. Yeah, y'all can keep going.
Well, yeah, we're 20 minutes in. We got to get going.
We're 20 minutes in already. Shit.
Yeah, we're sitting here shooting the shit for 20 minutes. What are we talking about 1977 for? What are we doing here?
Yeah. I'm sick and tired of hearing that
Dude.
story.
Dude, the cats. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, at least we
Anyway.
don't have cats to deal with tonight.
Did
Zombie.
the cats go to the kill shelter?
Yeah, I sent them. They're done. I don't know if they're alive because they said they wouldn't tell me, but they would tell me if someone adopted them, and no one's called me yet. I'm just kidding.
No, wrong. Yeah, you did.
There it
Legal
is.
notice.
There it is.
Please have your pet spayed and neutered,
Right.
like
Yeah,
Bob
yeah.
Barker.
Maybe
just said.
instead of Dickies, we need like the SPCA as an official sponsor.
Yeah, our Thursday night previews are brought to you by Dickies, home of the Angry Capris. How many inseams?
15.
Zombie?
15-inch inseam. If you sweat and swear for a living, do so in your angry capris. Daniel and listeners of the Geaux Team podcast can get a special price on those 15-inch inseam angry capri Dickies. How much are they?
If you use the discount code Sweat and Swear, then you get 20% off. On
No, it's $14.50. $14.50.
Hey, don't forget about the.
But you get 20% off of the $14.50. You didn't let me finish
the 20% off gets it to $14.50.
Hey, don't you have to
sorry.
have dark gray New Balance with orange like bottoms on it too?
I thought it was Crocs. Well, back in the day, it was Crocs.
Crocs. It's Crocs. It's Crocs. Okay.
FEMA Crocs at that.
Isn't there like little you know how you can put pins on a shirt? Don't you have like little pins that you can put in your croc holes?
Uh-huh.
And we need to get with that.
Oh yeah, I see them all. Yeah, the croc holes. I've seen them.
Yeah, it's like little pins that you put
that.
in your croc holes.
I have seen that. That is not. He's not
Croc
lying.
holes.
Croc holes.
Yeah, I mean, what else would you call?
Here's the legal,
But anyway,
corporate legal just keeps buzzing in my ear.
we actually have a very big LSU football game this weekend. You would think huge. The last time, all right, I'm gonna throw this because I know Zombie Bob knows the answer to this because me and him talked about it already. So I'm gonna throw this trivia question to Chip, and hopefully I'm teeing him up for a grand slam here. The last time LSU and Ole Miss were undefeated going into the matchup against each other was what year, Chip?
I want 1959, I think. 58?
1959. That is correct. And what happened that night?
Well done.
What, Billy Cannon, right?
Billy Cannon.
Yep.
So
Billy Cannon goes down.
Who's got the
89
music
yards.
going, Chip?
Yeah, Chip must be in the car with some music going.
Sorry, gas station.
I figured that.
So
who's the official gas station of the podcast?
Dynaco. Lightning McQueen, because I got a 4-year-old son that watches cars all the time. So Dynaco's my.
To say wherever he is, but anyway.
Well, I was gonna say we're still going off the rails here, but the old man used to always tell the story. Okay, Billy Cannon run. He was at a birthday party. It was Halloween. No, it was Halloween night, right? Yeah, duh. Yeah. So he was at a Halloween party. He was 13 years old at the time, 1959. He was born in 47. Wow. So he's 12 years old. He was at a Halloween party. They were listening on the radio. And so you know how if you ever hear the rebroadcast of the radio call of Billy Cannon's touchdown run, the audio of the announcer cuts out.
Right.
The old man swore till the day he died that who was the play-by-play announcer? Chip.
It was
Ferguson.
John Ferguson. Yeah.
John Ferguson.
59. It was still Ferguson.
I think so.
Actually, might not have been John. It might not have been John Ferguson. Actually, I forget the 19. Look that up. He's also. It was.
Sid Crocker was the voice of Tiger Stadium. Ferguson was. I think Ferguson's right.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong. But either way, whoever it is, the old man swore to the day that he died that segment of that little clip of the audio where it cuts out. John Ferguson. The old man swears that he was listening live, and Ferguson said, "Holy shit, the son of a bitch is going to score." And that's why on every rebroadcast, they say he got so excited that he hit the audio and turned his audio down. But the real story was that he said, "Holy shit, the son of a bitch is going to score," or something along those lines. He cursed. And so that's why every rebroadcast ever always has that segment where the crowd noise goes up and he cuts out.
And John
Listen to
Ferguson,
the
he's spinning in his grave listening to the student sections shout or chant, "Suck that tiger dick, bitch."
Well, yeah, who
listen
wasn't
to the
one of
field. Great All American Billy Cannon. Great All American.
Yeah.
Listen to the sound on the field. Now
college
the student
kids? It's
sections.
college football. College kids will be college kids. You might as well just let the band play Nick.
1946 to 1987 was John Ferguson.
Gosh, really? Yeah, and then
Yeah,
Crocker was.
like
I always
crazy.
get Crocker mixed up with that. I didn't realize Ferguson did it for that long.
Yeah.
So did he do? He did Jones to Davis too. He was on that call as well.
Wait, now you see. This is saying John Ferguson broadcast LSU sporting events, including the 1959 championship season. But this is saying the play-by-play announcer was J.C. Bullets. Where did I see it? Hold on. J.C. Poltz, Politz.
I think it's pronounced Polites.
All right, Politz, not police. Politz.
But either way, whoever it was, that was the old man's story to the day he died. Time has probably passed so much that you probably can't even get an official answer from LSU because the official narrative has been for however many years that is now that he accidentally 66 years that he accidentally hit the volume control or whatever the hell. So,
hey, a lot better than saying Jack Hunt scored on a Hail Mary.
well, that's to give the old man's story credence. The Bluegrass Miracle was edited. You know, that audio was edited because Jim Hawthorne screwed it up. So it's not that far fetched to believe that LSU would, edit the audio.
Hawthorne, I don't know that story.
The Bluegrass Miracle.
For the Bluegrass Miracle, he screams out, Jack Hunt.
Yeah. Instead of saying Devery Henderson, he says Jack Hunt. Jack Hunt.
Is that Mike's brother?
Yeah. Jack Hunt was a wide receiver that switched over to safety. He was number 8. Devery was number 9. One was white and one was black.
So the famous call from Billy Cannon was the play-by-play announcer J.C. Bullets.
Okay. Gabe in the chat saying, I wish they wouldn't have edited the Bluegrass Miracle.
I've seen a lot with the Jack Hunt thing. I don't think it's really.
I think I've seen it with Jack Hunt. I've heard it with.
It's still out there somewhere.
Right. Well, everything.
Have y'all ever heard?
I don't think the Billy Cannon original audio is out there. If the old man story is true, that audio has probably been destroyed.
Y'all should go check out the Kentucky call in that game. They have it on YouTube.
I have seen that. But anyway, let's circling back here, or what?
Yeah, we're at the halfway mark.
Yeah, I know. We're at the halfway mark here, and we haven't even dove into the game yet. So we have LSU ranked number 4 now, 4-0 against Ole Miss, ranked number what? I should have looked this up before last.
13?
I wanted to say 13, but I don't know if that's still accurate.
I'm pretty sure it's 13.
Because I feel like they're being hyped a lot higher than 13 now. They're 4-0. And now it's like the media narrative has changed on this game. It's almost the media has discounted LSU's victories against Clemson and Florida. But if you listen to the media talk about Ole Miss, you would have thought that Ole Miss had beaten Georgia and Alabama because their quarterback, even though he played great against Tulane and Arkansas the week before, you would think that he's the second coming of Johnny Manziel based off of the national media going into this game. And also, one last thing I want to say before I turn this over to you guys. Fuck T-Bob, man. Like, have you listened to T-Bob?
Well, that he doesn't believe in LSU.
Yeah, he's
a paper tiger.
He's just trying too hard to fit in. That's my gripe with a lot of these. I'm not gonna say their names, but even if everybody else who does the LSU podcast, there's this one guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but dude, he just tells us how bad our linebackers suck. He just overdoes it, and it just feels like he's trying to be cool with all the national people, just like T-Bob.
So Gabe in the chat said, "What did T-Bob say?" So T-Bob was on Unnecessary Roughness, Barstool Sports' college football podcast, and that podcast has a A&M fan and a Mississippi State fan. Of course, they fucking hate LSU because they're two schools that we've been beating up for years. And so both of those people said that they thought LSU was a paper tiger. And T-Bob, instead of defending LSU and saying, "Hey, we've got the fucking best defense in the country. Oh, by the way, we've got one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He's just been hurt." T-Bob's like, "Yeah, I'm scared. We might really be a paper tiger," or what exactly he said. I don't know. I cut it off at that point because I'm like, I can't fucking listen to this ass clown fucking downplay LSU because all of a sudden he went to Barstool and he wants to try to fit in. So fuck that guy.
He definitely fuck that guy. He definitely, and I used to like T-Bob.
Where meanwhile,
he's a big loss.
Meanwhile, Matt Moscona, shout out Matt Moscona, basically on his show today, thanks to Gabe, who's in the chat, who told me to listen to him. Moscona's like, yeah, the national media is totally missing the plot. Like, they think the national media thinks LSU's defense is the same defense as last year that couldn't stop a mobile quarterback.
Did you listen to Moscona with the crossover on Locked On Sports with the Ole Miss guy?
I didn't, but y'all, Gabe basically told me the details. Steve, you tell us the details.
Well, Chip,
or either one
first, and then you jump in. But essentially, Matt Moscona off the top rope, atomic elbow.
He did.
Not so fast, my friend, because this idiot with Locked On Ole Miss. Well, I mean, your offense, your defense is terrible. It's the same defense as last year, and our guy Trinidad is essentially your kryptonite from last year, Milrow. And, I mean, even Brian Kelly said, we're going to have trouble with the two different quarterbacks. And to Matt Moscona's credit, he's like, no, that's not what Brian Kelly said. Last year in the A&M game, it was two different styles. Your guys are more the same, and we don't have the same defense. How much freaking money have we spent on the defense? Like, if you want to go into this game thinking it's the same defense from last year, more power to you. But the biggest point for this idiot from Locked On Ole Miss, well, I mean, your defense is essentially the same as last year, and it's terrible. It's terrible. Our starting safety from last year is your fucking starting safety. Yeah. Hey, so where are we going with this? It's like, oh my God. I'm like, I hope all of Ole Miss is as delusional as that guy.
Yeah, well, no, they are, and that guy is very delusional and has been for about 10 years since they've done. He's been the same guy forever, and he never picks again. If it was that, Ole Miss would be going 15-0 every year. So it's just, and then we have Matt Moscona, who actually is very, I mean, for the most part, very impartial.
Yeah, he picked Clemson in the first game.
Yeah, I just kind of sometimes I wish. I mean, I'm glad he doesn't do that, but I'm like, man, just fucking come on our side because everybody else on Locked On is a massive fan of their team. So that's pretty much what it is. It's just like a huge fan does their team, except for South Carolina, who has an Alabama.
Did you hear this guy from the Locked On Ole Miss? He's like, I mean, this is a huge road game for LSU. I mean, y'all haven't been in this environment. And Moscona's like, time out. Like, the opening game of the season, Clemson was a hell of an environment. Like, don't give me we haven't.
No, Clemson's a better environment than Ole Miss. There's 100%.
Absolutely.
They're louder by far. Like, Ole Miss is just a bunch of drunk, stupid white kids. Okay, and you can put the disclaimer up.
He's got he was already reaching for
those fucking people. They're white fucking trash, but they dress up like they're from 1959. And I guess they got a couple outfits. They got the hoods that they all have too. They're a bunch of fucking KKK members.
Hey, Steve, how do you feel about that? So we have the gold game where we encourage our fans to wear gold. Ole Miss, every game, home and away, they have what to wear for their fans. So this week, their fans are instructed to wear red. So every week, the school determines what you wear, and all their fucking fans abide by it. I think I can't say what I think because it would be politically incorrect. But I think it's the most
It's a cult.
beta
It's another
beta
cult.
energy
Yeah, it's
ever
beta
that
as
I'm
fuck.
gonna let the school tell me what color I'm gonna wear so we can all match. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, the gold game, it's cool because it's once a year and most LSU fans don't even do it anymore. But every game, how do you feel about that, Zombie?
No, it's stupid.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't
Go
done a
ahead.
gold game in years, though. That was the first time in a long time.
Shout out
Yeah,
Angry
no.
Capri in the gold game. Angry Capri
Yeah,
loves the gold
Anchor
game.
Capri. Where he
Uh,
wears his gold Crocs.
yes, with purple pins in his croc holes.
Does he have a gold jersey? Does he have a gold jersey from 1996?
No, but Steve, do you still have your Kevin Falk jersey from 1996 or whatever year that would have been?
No,
That's
I lost that in a divorce.
Oh, did you really?
I have no idea what that thing is.
Let's get that thing back.
Gabe says I'm waiting for the all purple game. Speaking
Send
of
us a
which,
super chat so we can get that back.
yeah,
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Mark and Chip the other night, Zombie Bob, they were saying, "Oh, send us your super chats." Do you know, Zombie? You know what a super chat is?
Yeah, you pay money and you go to the top of the line or some shit.
Yeah.
Right.
So Mark the other night is like, send in your super chats. So and the money goes. So I don't remember what crazy stuff he was saying. So Chip started saying that too.
Right.
Speaking of purple jerseys, I made the prediction that Lane was going to wear white this week against us. They announced about an hour ago that they're going powder blue helmets, powder blue jerseys, white pants. So we are wearing white jerseys.
Okay.
So my prediction was wrong.
Before we jump into this game,
so they're not wearing their own colors. They're not wearing their own colors.
They never wear their own colors anymore. Ole Miss's colors.
So they're wearing powder blue jerseys, and they told everyone to wear red.
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel like Clemson? I tweeted Matt Moscona about the guy that, well, somebody else had said this guy from Ole Miss is an idiot. Thanks for putting him straight. But you know how Les Miles would circle the calendar, like we have to beat Alabama, and then of course we'd get our ass handed to us, and then like the team was broken after that. Then you lose 2 or 3 after that because all of your emotional energy was geared towards that game. Do you feel like that was Clemson for the first game of the season, and LSU essentially broke Clemson?
That could, well, with Clemson, their toughest 2 games were LSU and Georgia Tech, so maybe the combination of the 2.
Right.
Yeah, those games would wear any team out.
Because Georgia Tech's good. I mean, Georgia Tech was picked by some people. If people who didn't pick Clemson to win the ACC picked Georgia Tech, so
which is definitely possible.
Yeah, so that was definitely their toughest 2 games of the season were within the first 2 weeks. Now, did they play Miami? That could contradict what I'm saying. I don't know off the top of my head. Who knows? Because Stanford and Clemson's a conference game now.
Not for nothing. Ole Miss is ranked 13. Georgia Tech's 16th.
And they're undefeated and they're 16th?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so let's get into our roundtable questions now. First question is, and I will throw it to who wants to take it first. The first question is, what is your biggest storyline going into this weekend's game with Ole Miss? Chip, you want to go first?
Chip's going to go first, but before you do, brother Chip.
Georgia.
Before you jump into that, Georgia Tech has Georgia at the end of the season as the only ranked opponent on the rest of their schedule.
Yeah, maybe that's why they have an easy schedule.
Football in the ACC, baby.
Yeah.
Well, there's only like 3.
Chip, go ahead.
I think the storyline's obvious. Is LSU not very good, or were they good? That's the storyline. That's all I keep hearing about. And most of the national media, other than JD Pickle, I don't know if his name's Pickle, but JD whatever, I think he's the only one that's kind of picked us. Other than that, everyone is, even our own insiders have picked against us besides Mamaskin, I think. So
Zombie,
Blake Ruffino did, right?
Zombie, what's your biggest storyline going into this?
I think Chip's very accurate. We're going to see what Ole Miss is and what LSU is at the end of this game. But getting down onto the field, it's worse versus worse. LSU's not been able to run the ball to this point. Ole Miss has not been able to stop the ball from being run on them. They're giving up 191 yards a game. Ole Miss is. I don't think that it's imperative for LSU to get to 190 yards, but if LSU can get to 130 yards, if they rush for 130 yards, they're winning this game, LSU. So I think it's the ability of this offensive line to dominate, especially the interior of that defensive line, where they're a little bit softer in the middle than they are in the end. So it's the ability for LSU to do something they haven't really been good at versus the ability of Ole Miss to do something they haven't been very good at in stopping the run.
Yes, I agree. And, I thought about it, and this is why I kind of yielded my position. I know on the sheet I said I would go first, but I knew that this is, without a doubt, LSU's offense, the run game in particular, against Ole Miss's rush defense that's been abysmal. That's the number one story going into the game. So I decided to yield that storyline and go a different direction.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be, to me, it's LSU's defense. A lot of people are starting to question LSU's defense and discount it. Clemson's not very good. Oh, Florida looks terrible. Well, Trinidad's going to run all over you. So I think that the storyline for me is two players in particular. I think there's two players on our defense that are designed to shut down rushing quarterbacks, and that is Whit Weeks and Harold Perkins. And I don't know how, if you're Lane Kiffin, you're confident. Sorry, I got a fly in my face, a mosquito. I don't know how you're confident with a running quarterback with those guys and the speed that LSU has at linebacker. And that's not even counting the safety play, which has been outstanding this year.
Absolutely.
And Devon Keys has been outstanding. Devon Keys has been your best defensive player so far this season. And who would have thought that 4 games into the season?
26 tackles on the season so far, Devon Keys.
Yeah, he's emerging as a star. And by the way, he's still got the Weeks brothers. Oh, and by the way, you got Harold Perkins. Like, you're loaded at linebacker, and so you should be, and you can run with this guy at that position. Not only are you physical, but you have speed there too.
Right.
Yeah, and before Wes Weeks' injury in the beginning of the second half against Florida, he was playing pretty stellar as well.
Yeah. He's that physical presence in there that you were completely missing last year with Greg Penn. Shout out to Nathan. Nathan used Greg Penn as a whipping boy for 3 years, and I tried to defend him. That the upgrade this year has been incredible. So
yeah, which I think, you can't have the national media I'm talking about. You can't have it both ways. You can't talk about the $18 million roster that LSU has that's very evident on defense and then say, well, last year Blake Baker wasn't able to get it done against running quarterbacks. It's not the same roster. It's not the same depth on the roster.
I don't think Major Burns and Sage Ryan made a tackle in open space in their 3 years of playing.
Probably not. Not.
It's completely different. All right, Chip, you're up first. Who's going to be your offensive player of the game?
Garrett Nussmeier.
Zombie?
That's it? That's all? You don't want to say anything else?
Well, I'm going to say Garrett Nussmeier too, so that's why I was just going to.
Yeah, I think this is the game where he gets it going. I mean, he got it going last game, but this is where he gets it going to a team that the media will probably hate after next week and say they suck. So after we beat them by 2 touchdowns, so
okay,
I got Nussmeier. I got Nussmeier as my player of the game as well because Brian Kelly has said it. And it looked evident last week that Nussmeier does look healthier than he was in the first 3 games. And so this isn't Southeastern. This is a big game. So I think it's going to be on his shoulders. He was your Heisman Trophy candidate going into the year. If you win this game, I think he's back in that conversation. And I think he'll be back in that conversation.
I am going to throw you a curveball.
Okay.
I think that Brian Kelly knows what he has. He has the potential for a very good offense, but he's got a fucking kick-ass defense, right? So my player of the game, but then I have a caveat to it. Statistically, the offensive player of the game, I have Harlem Berry. Durham is improved. Late this afternoon, it was he was improved, but still questionable. Okay, so then I think it's going to be Harlan Berry. I have him going for 115 yards in this game and a touchdown. But then late in the afternoon, I changed it from Harlan Berry to, although he'll have no statistics, Jack Pyburn. How do you say his name?
Jack Pyburn.
Yeah. That's
As the offensive
player of the game. The LSU knows they got to come out and run the ball. He's going to be the fullback. They're going to be under center, just like that long run against Florida at the end of the game.
Okay, so
Harlan Berry with all the statistics because Jack's in front of him paving the way. You heard it here first.
Lon Phillips Sullivan, who's a friend of the program, follows our program.
Oh, nice.
He said last week that he is hearing reports that they are still practicing and building on that package with Pyburn at fullback. That's not going anywhere.
All right, so maybe you heard it here second.
Well, I'm just saying that, confirming what you're saying. So that's a bold prediction. I love bold predictions there because mine was lame as fuck.
Mine was lame too, but I think that's a great prediction.
Yeah.
Also, what if they threw one to him, man, after they got it going? Maybe get him a third on the goal
defensive
line.
End, the hands on the defensive end. No,
maybe he's got good hands. You don't know.
Goes down on a knee and then goes out.
Right.
Fakes the block.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to ask Zombie Bob this first, since you didn't pick Nussmeier as your player of the game. What is Nussmeier's stat line going to be? Just yards, touchdowns, interceptions.
I got it right here. 20 of 28, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns with an interception.
With an interception. Okay.
With an interception.
You want to go next, or you want me to go next, Chip?
You got it next.
Okay, so I've got. He went 26 of 31 against Southeastern, or was it 25?
With like 4 or 5 drops.
Yeah, 5 drops.
So he was on the money again. He was accurate. So I'm going to go with a relatively high completion percentage for a game like this. I think we're going to end up throwing the ball a lot. I do think we're going to struggle running the ball. I think we're going to rely on Nussmeier. So I think we're going to throw the ball like 35 times. Let's say 26 completions. 200 and I'm going to go 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Okay.
My player of the game, Garrett Nussmeier. So 275, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Well, I'm about in the same area, but I'm gonna go like 265, 270, 20. It's probably similar, 25 to 31. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Okay.
What was your yards again, Zombie? I'm writing these down.
20 of 28 for 235.
I like that number. I think it's a good one. I just had
to
I'd go in between.
Zombie's coming at us from a different angle because he says that we're going to run that Harlan Berry's going to have 115 yards. If Harlan Berry has 115 yards, then
you win the game by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, then we don't need Nussmeier to throw for a lot of yards. So,
that's what I was alluding to with Brian Kelly. Like, establish the run. I mean, Ole Miss has given up plays. They've given up chunk yardage. Like, what's the term they use these days with the big play? Not big play, but whatever. Like a run of 40 yards.
Explosive plays.
Explosive plays. They have given up. I mean, that goes to the 191 yards rushing that they're giving up, and the likes of the teams that they've played so far that have gotten these chunk plays and these explosive plays. So somebody's going to have a 40 or 50 yard reception for LSU. Somebody's going to have a 30 or 40 yard run for LSU. I mean, at this point, Harlan Berry is 15 carries, 87 yards. He's averaging 5.8 yards a carry. I think he's going to pop one.
Okay. Next question. Who will be the leading rusher? I got me going first on this one. I'm going to go with Juwan Johnson. I think Durham's going to play, but I still think he's banged up. So I think and Juwan Johnson had that good game last week where he's kind of emerged as your solid number 2. I'm worried, or not worried. I would say the reason I don't think Harlem Berry is I don't know if they trust him fully yet for a
Especially on the
road
road.
game. Yeah,
Right.
for a road game.
Right.
If it was a home game, I'd be more willing to put him up there. But for me, I think Juwan Johnson's going to be the leading rusher. Chip, you're next.
Well, I'll go someone different. I want to say I'm trying to figure out a way how we get to 130 because I think that might be the magic number. What do we have against Clemson? 130?
Yeah, it was like right at 140, I believe.
I think that's the magic number. And I think Clemson and Ole Miss are very, very similar offensively. Except Clemson has better wide receivers. And Ole Miss might have a better O-line and a better running back. But I think yeah,
well,
I gotta think. I think what's his name? I still don't think. I think it's gonna be like 10 carries to 7 carries. I think he might have 35, 40 yards. JJ. So
you're going with
LSU
Johnson as well?
yeah.
LSU
Also,
had
but
108 against Clemson.
108.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was more.
I mean, I think you can win rushing for 110.
It's going to be close.
Yeah.
Something Jace Lejeune said last night on the program, Chip. I don't know if you caught this, but when we were talking about who's going to replace Durham if he can't go, he said look for Xavier Thomas to be more involved. Which is
that could be your I think they hadn't used him as much as I thought they would after the Clemson game, like when it comes to the running game. But I mean they're going to have to, right?
They're going to have to. I think they're going to have to. Unless segue Zombie Bob, what's your prediction for LSU's leading rusher? Who's it going to be?
Well, I already told you, Harlem goes for 115.
Yeah, so if it's Harlem Berry and he has an explosive play early in the game in the first half, then I think you don't necessarily have to go to Xavier Thomas because Harlem has that ability to break a long run an electrifying run. We're cutting it across the field where
and no shade on Johnson. 16 carries, 52 yards at 3.3 average. And again, no shade on him. A lot of it's the offensive line. Xavier and Thomas, I think that they're looking for that. I think they're like, okay, like Durham's not 100% one way or the other. Yeah, it's going to be these other guys, and I think that's why I went with Harlem Berry.
I have a question. Did Xavier Thomas play quarterback in high school? Probably.
I feel like every LSU skill player ever plays quarterback in high school.
Well, I heard I think maybe he just has a feel for the O-line blocking because he played quarterback in high school. He lets things open up, whereas Caleb Dern doesn't. I've heard that. It looks like Thomas is a hard runner, but he's patient as well. So
I said after the Clemson game that I thought Xavier Thomas was the best running back on the team.
Yeah, you did. Before the Clemson game, you said that.
No, I said it after the Clemson game.
Well, I mean,
the Clemson game,
he looks like a running back to me.
Yeah, that was one of my takeaways after the Clemson game was that I felt like he was the best running back on the team. Where going into that game, I thought he was going to get carries and he needs to be involved. So next segment, because we are up against the clock now.
Oh shit, that's fast. All right.
Who will be, Chip, you lead us off. Who will be our leading receiver?
I'm going to stick with my guy, Anderson. 77 yards, and he finally makes it into the end zone. Aaron Anderson, excuse me.
Zombie, who you got?
Well, I wasn't sure. This is the first Thursday night roundtable I've done with you guys, so I wasn't sure. Leading receiver, are we going by catches or we go by yards?
If it's tied, we go by yards. Well, I think we've gone by yards each time.
I don't have yardage for it, but I think the safety net blanket is going to be Sharp. I think Sharp's going to have the most receptions. I think Marion Brown's going to have the most yardage.
That's a good pick.
It seems like in every big game, that Nussmeier always falls back in the second half when the game's close. He always seems to go with Aaron Anderson. You look at the Ole Miss game last year, the Clemson game this year. In big moments, that's his guy that he trusts. He likes throwing it over the middle. So, not trying to just piggyback off a Chip on everything here, but I just feel like there's a chemistry there, and when things get tight, that tends to be who he goes to.
Yeah, that's his
point. Excellent point.
So continuity is the reason I'm going Aaron Anderson. And I'm not going Chris Hilton again. I'm not going Chris Hilton ever again.
I think that's a great pick though. Bauer Sharp could have 7 receptions for 20 yards. Because we saw it in Clemson.
Yeah, so if Aaron Anderson has 4 catches for 80 yards, but Bauer Sharp has 9 catches for 50,
31.
Yeah, then I would give Bauer Sharp the edge on the leading receiver in that.
Right.
Yeah, but Bauer Sharp, great athlete. He's been way better athlete than I thought he would have been.
Zombie, who will score the first touchdown for your LSU?
I'm riding Harlem. The Harlem Shuffle. I'm going
the Harlem Shuffle.
The Harlem
Shuffle. Shake, right?
Well, the Stones had a song called the Harlem Shuffle, but then Les Miles and everybody did the Harlem Shake.
I forgot about
those
doing the Harlem Shake.
Yeah.
Wasn't in the middle of the Big Cat drill too?
Yeah.
He stopped it. He went in the middle.
Right.
All right, so before the injury, we said the cheat code on this category here, or this question, was trade as green. Because every time you're inside the 10, you're probably just going to throw a jump ball to trade as green. So I'm in an attempt to win this category this week, I'm going to say trade as green. Although I do think if we get inside the 5, I think we're going to try to punch it in. I think we're going to make an effort to try to punch it in with Pyburn, like you said, but with green available again, I'm going green.
Okay.
And Chip, who you got?
I do think we'll go to him a couple times, and obviously, I don't know how healthy he really is. I know he's healthy enough to play, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Johnson, man. I think he'll. I think we'll run it on 3rd and goal at the 3. I think they'll try to put it in.
If it's 1st and goal on the 3, I think we're definitely handing off the first play.
Yeah.
Which would be good for me if we did actually hand it off instead of the second play, like we always do.
Well, we did it the first play last week. I know it was against Southeastern, but it was a quarterback dive to Nussmeier, and he got the first touchdown.
Yeah. Which could happen again.
So switching over to defense, I'm leading this one off, and I already kind of hinted at it. Who I think is going to be our defensive player of the game. If you look further, so the question is who's going to be the defensive player of the game for LSU. If you look back beyond last year, where we faced a mobile quarterback who was always the kryptonite when he was healthy to a mobile quarterback, Harold Perkins. If Bryce Young was the best quarterback in college football that year, and he couldn't figure out Harold Perkins' closing speed. Mm-hmm. And so here's this guy coming from D2 who's only played against Chip. I know you got family in Arkansas, but the state of Arkansas football is abysmal. So the only 2 games he's played that not at the D2 level is against an Arkansas defense that's terrible and a Tulane defense that's statistically terrible. And I know Tulane's beat some teams and they've played a tough schedule, but their defense is statistically terrible. And so Chambliss has never played against a guy as fast in the way that Harold Perkins just closes on people when they're running. I don't think I've seen anybody that can just close on a ball carrier, specifically on quarterbacks, like Harold Perkins does. So I think this is a Harold Perkins superstar game in the making. So I got Harold Perkins.
Makes a lot of sense. Tulane's defense is ranked 76th nationally. 383 yards a game they're allowing.
I thought I read somewhere they were like 100 and something. Maybe against I don't know.
No. Okay.
Chip, who you got for defensive player of the game?
Who's next?
Chip, you.
Defense player game, I'm going to go with last week 12 played awesome. I'm going to go with 6 this week. Defensive end. I think he gets a sack.
To Patrick Payton.
Yeah.
Zombie
Scoop
Bob,
and
who
score,
you got?
baby. I'm calling it right now.
I'm going the easy route. I mean, Perkins is a great choice, but I'm going with Weeks.
Yeah, Whit Weeks really hasn't had a breakout game this year.
Right.
You know,
only
obviously,
got eight tackles on the year.
I know, and it's part of it is the team defense. LSU's playing team defense, so nobody's really dominating the tackle stat except for Devon Keys. But Devon Keys also played in La Tech. He played with the ones and with the twos.
Right.
So he's played more reps than anybody else, but he's absolutely shined. So we are waiting for All-American Whit Weeks to kind of have his game. And what would be a better game than against his future father-in-law?
Well, but I think you're right. I think, and we're going to lead into this and why I went with him in a couple of topics. But I think Weeks is attacking, and Perkins is not shadowing or mirroring. But Weeks is going to go and attack him in the backfield. Perkins is going to get him in the open field.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I have Perkins as I agree with that. I have Perkins as my player of the game, but segue, who will lead the team in tackles? I do not have Perkins leading the team in tackles.
Right. Neither I don't have Weeks either.
I've got West Weeks leading the team in tackles. Because, everybody talks about Lane Kiffin being this high-flying offense. Their offense is good because they run the football. And they are a run-first team. They've always been a run-first team under Lane. And they're going to try to run it right at us. And so I think that's why I think West Weeks is going to be the leading tackler for us.
Okay. Chip?
Chip, you there?
What is this, leading tackler?
Yes, leading tackler.
I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to go with do y'all think? I guess I'll go 40. I'll go 42.
Keys.
Yeah, Keys. I'll go. That's safe. That's a safe.
One.
I went with it. Tried to be different with the defensive end. But yeah,
Deshaun Spears was the player of the game because he had 2 interceptions. He only played 9 plays. So you're not wrong in picking Patrick Payton to be the player of the game. If he has 2 sacks, he has 3 sacks, then he's the player of the game.
A sack and a half and a scoop and score.
That's the who leads the team in tackles is a different question than who the player of the game is. So you're totally okay in picking those 2 different ones. Yeah. Zombie, who do you have officially as?
So Marcus Cooley, safety.
Okay.
He's third on the team and with 18 tackles so far this year. I think LSU is going to be aggressive. Like I said, I think the Weeks are going to be in the backfield. Perkins is going to be in open field. But I think there's going to be some opportunities that he's going to step up, from the secondary position, from the safety position, and make some of the tackles. So I'm going with Cooley. Number 0, so that Chip knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Chip's a number guy.
I'll remember him literally a year later. I'll remember every single name and stats. It's just, I don't know. My short-term memory sucks. I think Cooley's been great this year, though. So
And the Admiral Halsey is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Well, but I think that, he kind of, I don't know if he outshines Cooley because he's the third leading tackler, but I feel like Cooley doesn't really get his, I mean, everybody at defense, there's so much team defense that nobody really gets their kudos.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And segue to that, team defense. This has been the next question is who's going to lead the team in sacks? It's really been a hard question all year because it's like there's always been so many guys that get a half sack, 1 sack. I think Shanklin was the first game where somebody got 2 sacks. Before that, I think somebody else, one of the Weeks brothers, or maybe it was Perkins, had 1.5 in one game. But this has been a hard category because it has been team defense, and the way Blake Baker's runs his scheme is there's a lot of guys on the D line that kind of give themselves up for the blitzer to try to come free. So this has been a hard question for us. I don't think any of us has got it right all year because the question is who's going to lead the team in sacks in a game, and it's been everybody, and it's been so random. So who's going first? Steve, Zombie, you're going first on this one.
Okay. Well, my defensive player of the game is Whitweeks because he gets 1.5 sacks in this game.
I like that. So I'm next. On this one, I think it's going to come from the interior. I think with the way that Blake Baker, the way I just described it, Blake Baker's system is, guys are giving themselves up, and it's like the defensive ends haven't really had an opportunity to really go to work. But the one guy in last week in particular that just dominated, it was in the backfield, was Bernard Gooden from the defensive tackle position. So I think I wouldn't be shocked to see him get in the backfield more because he's got more one-on-one opportunities in pass rush situations because the stunts and stuff are coming from the outside, and that so the guys blitzing are coming from depth, and then the defensive ends are usually giving themselves up so that those guys can get there. So I'm going to go Bernard Gooden.
That's a good one.
And Chip, I think you gave yours away saying Patrick Payton as a defensive
No,
player
I'm
of the
going
game.
with Dylan Carpenter. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. He's so hot.
Chip does have a man crush on Dylan Carpenter, which, by the way, I don't know if y'all saw this. They announced it on Brian Kelly's radio show tonight that Relaford's officially out for the season with a rotator cuff. He did have surgery.
That's
so
he's having a good year too.
So Dylan Carpenter, he will have an opportunity to play. So will Damian Shanklin, if he continues to play well. Because with Shanklin, you got to think about red shirt situation. Do you want to red shirt him like what they did with Wes Weeks last year?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're good, the way it works, Zombie, did you know this? That the way the red shirt rules work now, it's only in the regular season. So you can play 4 games in the regular season, play in the SEC championship game, and then play 3 playoff games. So you can play 8 games and still maintain a red shirt. So that's I'm curious to see what they do with Shanklin because they do like collage Cobbins too. So,
I mean, you know me, I'm all about playing them all. And by the way, Shanklin looks like a dog. I mean, he looks huge in his uniform.
He does.
I didn't realize he was as big as he was.
All right, interceptions. Who's going to be the leader in the clubhouse in interceptions? I'm going to AJ Halsey.
The Admiral.
Admiral Halsey, the ball hawk.
That's who I have as well. So I'll just jump on yours.
Gosh, I want to pick AJ Halsey.
I said this. I don't know if you were on that night, Zombie, but that interception he made against Florida, his interception, where he just read that play the whole way. That was the best individual effort play that we've had on defense this year, where he just read the routes and just has the instincts. So I am obsessed with Halsey.
Yeah, no, I think
I'd say that's the best individual defensive play in 3 years.
Definitely from a DB.
Back from Harold Perkins, Who do I think on LSU is going to lead in picks? Because I can tell he's going to lead it in Ole Miss.
Chip's stirring up some bad juju, Zombie, and he's convinced. He's convinced that Sage Ryan will pick off Garrett Nussmeier. Although you said 0 interceptions.
It is.
You said pick. 0.
Yeah, I know. I'm not really going to do that, but it's a joke. I could just see Sean McDonough, all the ESPN guys. Sage Ryan, he comes back with a vengeance. I don't know. But no, I don't think it would. If it was a pick, it'd be a tipped ball that sat in the air for 20 minutes. No, I like Halsey too with the lead in the interceptions. That guy's a beast. He almost picked them off against Clemson too. So, and also, this guy is susceptible to picks. I watched every game he's played. I watched both these games. There's sometimes he just throws it up, man, and the Tulane DBs and safeties were just lost. There's gonna be chances for picks here.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. All right, next question. So we had an earthquake on that one for people who watch Barstool Sports Advisors. Stu Feiner, Zombie. If they all 3 make the same pick, it's an earthquake, and then Stuart Feiner throws a coffee mug and bursts it everywhere, and so that was an earthquake there. Will Ramos make a kick over 45 yards? We said we weren't going to ask this again after 2 weeks ago, but now that we attempted a 60-yarder, so I'll change this question. I'm going to change this. Not will he make a 45-yarder? Will he attempt over a 50-yarder?
That answer is no. He will not attempt a 50-yarder. He will make a 47-yarder.
Okay.
The kicking the 60-yard field goal was just stupid. And then
I
as a
can't
result
believe
of
he
it,
did that.
you lost DJ Chester, your first guy off the bench, as on the offensive line.
Yes. It was
And
like
it's just
asking
foolish.
it was like asking my 4-year-old to block Harold Perkins.
Yeah,
He's physically not capable of making that kick.
right. I mean, he was 10 yards short. He
Yeah,
wasn't
it
2
barely
yards
hit the
short.
goal line. The guy
You're right.
caught it on the goal line.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like he had the length, but it was all wide right or wide left. He at the goal line. So it's just, how do you not know that guy can't make that?
But meanwhile, you
Well,
got the
I
guy
mean,
with the
I'm trying to be
longest
devil.
leg. You got the guy
Yeah,
with the longest leg in college football on the bench. It drives me insane. And Gabe, if you're still there in the chat, defend it for me.
Yeah, I think it was a dumb play. But just to be devil's advocate, that 52-yard he made against Clemson would have probably not have made it to the goalpost on that kick. I don't know if he would have made it. Obviously, it would have been a couple yards short, but it would have been close. So
Was it windy in Clemson?
He doesn't have 60-yard power, but it had to have been, right? Like, I don't even know.
He had to catch
Because
a
he buried that
crosswind or
one.
something. He must have been hit that in the
Well,
trade
he
winds,
just
and the
stuck
trade
it.
winds took it.
I mean, it was a dumb play though, like Zombie said. I mean, it was stupid. I had my hands like, what are we doing? Are we really about to do this?
So do you think he'll make a 45?
And it didn't even make the end zone. Yes.
It seems like we're always attempting 45 plus field goals.
Right.
It's that part of the
47
field.
all the time.
We stall out right there on that part of the field every time. And so I think, yes, he will kick another 45-yard. Yeah, that's the worst area for our kicker, and we always end up in that area. So we don't.
We love it.
Yeah, we don't get play calls to get us out of that area either. So, yeah, I think we end up kicking a 45-yarder, and he makes it. I'll say he makes it. So, last question before we get to predictions. What will the headline of the Baton Rouge Advocate be on Sunday morning? Zombie says he's got a good one. Yeah, so Zombie says he's got a good one, so he's going to go last. Chip, you go first.
Gosh. I was trying to think of something earlier, and I just really can't think of anything. I know Zombie Bob's gonna. I was gonna go like Tigers tame Rebels, but I'm sure that's been done before, and also they're not the Rebs anymore apparently. So Tigers
the Black
tame
Bears.
Sharks. Tigers tame Sharks. Land Sharks. Go, Daniel. I'm excited to hear Zombies.
So, Zombie, we've been keeping up with this all year, and I will say, Gabe in the chat before game one, said that the headline was going to be 1-0 EAUX. And that was good because that was on the theme. But the actual headlines have been terrible. I don't know who's coming up with them. Like last week was Go Live. Like it was the first time the offense was like going live.
Okay.
The week before that, it was Pick and Grin, not like a play on Pick Again, because it was a picture of Deshaun Spears smiling in the end zone afterwards. So there's been bad headlines with the Advocate. So my thought process was I wanted it centered around, because I came up with some good headlines, like good play on words. So originally I thought it was going to be something like playing off of Kiffin and Whit Weeks, that relationship going on now, but they're bad with the headlines. So I'm going to say Nussmeier emerges as Heisman Trophy favorite, like as the subtitle or the by headline. So, yeah.
All right. Well, this is the first pick that I've done, this round robin thing right here. So I didn't really know that the actual headlines are terrible. So I went with what should be the headline, right?
Which I give more credit to the creative.
This is what I'm excited about.
Yeah. Okay. So going back, and let me set it up, and going back to my defensive player of the game, Whit Weeks, because he gets 1.5 sacks. So it's a two-part headline, right? Weeks, Tulane. Okay, Tulane, because they just beat Tulane. Who's your daddy?
Oh, that is good. That is good.
Right?
Well, so I was originally thinking like maybe I should come up with something along those lines about Weeks and Kiffin, but then I was like, well, they've been so lame.
Well, I
But
didn't know they were lame, but that should be the one. And that's
who's your
why.
daddy?
Well,
Who's your
they
daddy?
need Zombie Bob
That's
to go work
perfect.
for him. Is what they need.
Right.
Just come up with LSU football. Just do it.
The headline, right? The headline.
Well,
Yeah,
Zombie Bob
yeah.
doesn't believe in newspapers, so he would never do.
No.
He would never do
Although,
that.
all right.
So I
Full
did.
confession, Daniel. After a 1.5 year, 2-year absence, I broke down and I resubscribed to NOLA.com.
Yeah, but that's digital. That's not the actual
Yeah,
newspaper.
but there's no newspapers anymore.
I get one every morning, man. I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning.
Not every morning. Not every morning.
I get it every morning.
Is it a weekly? It's a daily thing. I thought they only
Yeah,
do
I get the
3 or 4
Daily
times a week.
Advocate. The Advocate survived. Your Times
Well,
Picayune didn't survive.
I mean,
the
there's 20
Advocate.
people in Baton Rouge or whatever. So yeah, Weeks Tulane. Who's your daddy?
But I did notice on my. I looked at our bank account today, and because I've been subscribed to it for years now, and they just auto go up on me. So, how much do you think the monthly fee is for the newspaper?
Is it like $19.99?
No, it's way more.
Really?
It's $58.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, is this your corporate
what
account or your
No, that's my
account?
personal account. Yeah, if the wife knew how much it was, like
Yeah, good thing she doesn't watch the podcast.
she's probably asleep by now. So hold on. I love that headline, by the way. Who's your daddy? Because I don't know if it's just my algorithm, but on Twitter, like Ole Miss fans are like popping up out of the woodwork talking shit on Twitter.
Yeah.
So instead of getting into sparring matches, what I did was I just started bookmarking them, and I've already know
You're coming back at him.
Oh, I'm coming back at him. I did this to Brandon Walker 2 years ago. Brandon Walker from Barstool Sports, Mississippi State fan who was mouthing off. And so after we beat Mississippi State, we beat the shit out of them 2 years ago. All day, every tweet he would make all day long, I would just send him the GIF from Remember the Titans when Coach Herman Boone, who goes up to Gary was it Bertier? Goes up to goes up to Gary Bertier. Who's your daddy, Gary?
Right,
Who's your daddy? And I did it to Brandon Walker all day long.
That's awesome.
I've got that saved, ready to go, and I already thought about using that. So I love your headlines. One last thing before we get into predictions. Gabe said, I didn't have a problem with him attempting the field goal. We now know what he can do. Honestly, what's the odds that we get the targeting call? But we did get the targeting call, and there was no wind. Yes, he made a 53-yarder, but that was a 60-yarder.
Right.
Like, there's a 7-yard difference between his career long.
But you should already know his length.
It was too much.
Distance. Yeah.
It was too much.
Gabe says the Advocate is not that creative. They have not been creative with the headlines this year. So hopefully they're listening. Rabelais, I'll tweet Rabelais tomorrow and be like,
yeah,
the headline needs, or I'll DM them. The headline, we beat them, needs to be this.
Right. Yeah, and they have some smart people over there. It's concerning. Anyways, great. That would be. I wish Zombie Bob worked for him, but
yes. All right,
so screw y'all.
Right.
So predictions. I'll go first.
Okay.
Prior to the season, I had picked us to lose to Clemson, lose to Ole Miss, and then lose to Oklahoma. I had us going 9-3, and then I said I still think you go 9-3 with those losses.
What are you, T-Bob?
Okay, did you think we were going to beat Clemson? Did you predict us to beat Clemson?
I said they better fucking beat Clemson. Like, I want to see what the $18 million. Well, I wasn't on that Thursday night show.
In your own personal mind, did you think we were going to win the game? Did you pick us to win the game?
I didn't do that. I was like, these motherfuckers had better win.
Fair. So I predicted us to lose this game before the season. now that we've been 4-0 and we're struggling offensively, going into this week, I still thought we were going to lose this game. I told Chip this, like, we're an underdog for a reason. Like, I do think we're the underdog. I think that Ole Miss has players. Is their roster as good as ours? No, but they have players. They're well coached. But then everything that I've seen from the national media, from Ole Miss people, I when Gabe told me about that Locked On podcast this morning, I told him, I'm like, I told Gabe this going into the week, going into yesterday, I was fully prepared to pick Ole Miss to win this game. But it's kind of like when the team has a chip on their shoulder, they play harder. They've got something to prove. And the fact that everybody is still doubting this team, I think gives us enough of an edge. The difference between where I was 2 days ago and now is that the ammunition's there, the motivation is there. Because I was worried about us going into this game and kind of, overlooking Ole Miss, and Ole Miss was going to be the more motivated team coming off of the loss last year, and they have something to prove. Now I think we're the team that has more to prove than they do. Fuck them. They haven't beat anybody. Congratulations on beating Tulane. Congratulations on beating Arkansas. Congratulations on beating Kentucky. Those are the two worst teams in the SEC. You beat both of them. Congratulations. You're about to play a roster that you have not faced this year. Nothing even close. And we have, while Clemson's struggling, Florida's struggling, those two rosters are more talented than than Ole Miss's roster. And so we've been to Clemson. Iron sharpens iron. We've already been in that tough environment. So now I think we win the game 27. Or, I'm going to go a little bit lower. I'm going to go, well, no, fuck that. I have Nussmeier with 3 touchdowns. So 27-17, LSU wins the football game.
Okay.
I like that one.
You
want me to go next? Because Zombie probably has a really good take. I'll be quick.
Go for it, Chip.
But quickly, what do you think the spread would be? And this doesn't matter, but against Clemson, because I've seen a bunch of Ole Miss fans tell me how bad Clemson is. What do you think the spread would be? Because I know what it would be.
Clemson versus who?
I know.
Ole Miss?
Ole Miss. Yeah, at Ole Miss. They'd be a 3-point dog. Anyways, they'd be a 3-point dog from what I understand. But anyways, I think that would be a barn burner of a game. I think both those teams are very similar. Obviously, I've watched. Y'all, they had a dogfight with Kentucky and Arkansas. And if Arkansas kicks fucking field goals, what coaches don't do anymore, they have the ball in the 30 with a chance to win instead of trying to score a touchdown to throw the ball, Same with Kentucky. I think they passed up on 2 or 3 field goals. And those were close games. And Kentucky is not good. Kentucky might not win another game this whole season.
I agree.
And I don't think Clemson's that bad of a team. And I don't think Florida had nobody talks about it. 5 minutes ago, that game was 7-13, and Florida had the ball on their own 40. So, on Miami's 40, and they didn't get again. Got to kick field goals. If they just fucking kick field goals, you're still in the game if they go down and score 21-13. It's just.
Yeah.
It's just, but I think LSU wins. I like 27-17, but I'm going to go with 20. We're up 28-21, and Ramos kicks a 45-yard field goal to put it out of reach with 2 minutes left to go in the game. 3 minutes.
So you got
31 to 21.
Okay, I gotcha.
All right, Zombie.
I alluded to it, or I said it earlier in the podcast. I think Brian Kelly knows what he has with this team, and I think he knows the caliber of the defense. I think indeed the offensive struggles that we had were Nussmeier's torso. The running game, yes, and hopefully they come up with that, because the play calling was pretty good and pretty, not exotic, but creative against Clemson, and we haven't really seen that since then, because you didn't really need to see it again.
That's true.
After that. And then even with Florida, it was at home, and he said to the crowd, "You got to be in it, and it's got to be Death Valley." And I think he played the field position game, knowing what his defense was, knowing the type of punter and weapon that he has, and I think he knows what he has, and I think he's going to let Sloan loose a little bit more this week. But I mean, Daniel, when you said 27, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm looking at my notes, ready to hold up my paper. I have him at 27-13. I got Ole Miss going over 10 for the first opponent this year, but I believe in this defensive roster that we have and the talent from the front to the back, and from the 1 to the 4, depth that gets the rotations and everything. I think this defense. I think LSU is going to make a statement. I got them 27-13, and then they go into the bye, and then we're really going to fucking rock and roll after that.
Yes, I think this is the statement game, and if you come out and Nussmeier puts up numbers, the defense plays well, then you can shut up every critic, and then
100%.
Everybody's talking about how good we are again, like they were after week 1.
Right.
But they've slowly forgotten over time.
Yeah. So
if they only score, I mean, if we shut them down to 17 points, there's no way they win. What do you think the magic number is for them to score? That 28 would be what they would need.
I said 25 is the magic number last night. Like, I don't.
That's your 25. Okay.
Yeah, obviously anything. If we turn the ball over 4 times, they can score more than 24. But if the game is, if all things are considered even, if you score 25 points on offense, I don't see a scenario unless you turn the ball over 3 or 4 times or twice or field position, something happens on special teams. 25 is my magic number. If we get to 25, I feel good about our chances to win the game.
Yeah. I think, 4 touchdowns, I think we win easily.
We're at the end of the program. We got our predictions in, but something that we talked about earlier, I think, Daniel, you brought it up, talking about the young not young. He was a senior, right?
Which one?
Their quarterback.
Yeah, yes.
Like he played at
Ferris
Division
State.
II. Yeah. For a while. So I'm not saying young, but he's got the experience, but not against this quality of a defense or what. But if we see the second quarterback, the original starter, whatever his name is,
Austin Simmons.
If Simmons comes in, it's game over. It's because the first guy can't get it done, and not the speed of the defense is a little bit too much, but like he hasn't gone against these type of athletes yet in his career.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't, if they make a quarterback change, even if it's just for one series, I think it's LSU's game.
I think you'll see both quarterbacks for Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to give them both a hard time.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So. Okay.
Like Georgia in 2003, Shockley and Green. I remember just putting out some old stuff.
So I decided
that day drinking on Saturday with a friend of the program.
Yeah, friends coming in from Houston for a wedding.
They're in town. They're uptown right now.
Oh, they are. That's why.
Are they already? They're already uptown.
Yeah. Oh, are they?
So, Zombie, can you hear the music now?
Yeah.
What band is this? This is an old man classic right here.
It's not Steely Dan.
I love Steely Dan. I can't hear the song. I don't know what it is. Which one is it?
Back, Jack, Do It Again.
Oh.
So this is Steely Dan.
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
Or is it? Wait,
Steely Dan song is Times Are Hard. When you're
Steely Dan.
afraid to play the
I've been listening to a lot of Three Dog Night lately.
Three Dog Night. That's not bad. But the reason this is our outro music is because we will do this again. We'll be back again after the game, Ole Miss, for bourbon and beer. We don't know the lineup because Zombie will be out and about. We don't know Chip's location, where he'll be, but we'll be live, bourbon and beer, after the game, hopefully celebrating an LSU victory. We will be off tomorrow, but we'll be back on Saturday.
Yeah.
So
I'll know by tomorrow night where I'm gonna be.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, well done.
all right, guys, y'all have a good evening.